welcome to. So, we are in the month of Elul. So, in the next couple days, the moon's going to be full. Rabbis are going to start to panic because that means there's 2 weeks until Rosh Hashanah, which is a big time for rabbis. So we panic when that moon gets full. But for the rest of you, what does it mean, the month of Elul? The month of Elul is the time when we Jews are instructed to really look deeply at our lives and to see, how's it going? Like, what do you need to change? What do you need to make better? And this isn't like some wishy-washy nice thing. This is supposed to be really hard work. Like, you're supposed to do it for a month, and you're supposed to really pick something that you're going to work on this year. And then the end of next year, you're supposed to look back and see how you did on that. I pick something every year. I never tell anyone what it is. Sometimes it comes up years later. I will let people know because, after I know how it went. But I'm thinking this year of actually sharing what I'm going to do. And if I do choose to share it, I will share it on the Rosh Hashanah hike when we're doing the contemplative spot overlooking the Continental Divide. And when I share it, you'll understand why I'm sharing it. But Judaism gives us lots of things to think about of what we might want to improve. I mean, it's not like just be a good person. Some people say, all religions are the same. They say be a good person. That's not Judaism. Judaism gives us real specifics. Like this week in our Torah portion, it says, look, if you're going to build a flat spot on top of your house so you can have picnics and you can look around and see what's going on, that's all well and good. But, build a fence so nobody falls off. It doesn't just stop you from doing stupid things, but it tries to help you stop other people from doing stupid things, right? So what are the big rules of what to do and what not to do? Of course, are the 10 commandments, right? And those are the real biggies. You could start there if you're looking for what you're doing well. You shouldn't be murdering, hopefully. You shouldn't be stealing. You shouldn't be lying. But, also on that list, like those are big things, right, which we hope everyone would do. But also on that list are keeping the Sabbath or remembering the Sabbath. That's right there in our top 10. And so is another one, and this is the one about which I want to speak today, which is honoring your father and mother. And I want to speak about this for 2 reasons. One is because my father and mother just moved here on Wednesday. So welcome. They just moved here on Wednesday from New York, and today is their anniversary. So they celebrated their 50th anniversary years ago with us up in Glacier View Ranch, and now they're here celebrating another anniversary with us this evening. The second reason I want to talk about this particular commandment is many of us have children that are going back to school, and each year as kids get older, the friction point between what does it mean to honor your parents and what does it mean that I am gaining autonomy, I am becoming a teenager, I am becoming a bat mitzvah, those two things rub on each other a little bit more every year. So it's a good thing to look at every year. So I would like you right now to think a little bit about what does it look like to honor your mother and father? Because the end of this conversation is going to be me asking you and you telling me, because I'm not really sure what the answer is. So coming up with examples of how do you honor your father and mother. Okay, so you think about that while I talk. So there's a couple of really interesting things about this commandment. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that Elaine and I think this one's so important. Our individual students in our bar mitzvah program, they study a different value every month, and this is one of the ones they study. Okay, so the 10 commandments say honor your father and mother, and elsewhere in the Torah it says you should have yirah for your mother and father. And yirah is a funny Hebrew word. It walks the line between respect and fear. You know when you fear something so much, like a volcano that's exploding, that you respect it, Or you respect something so much that you fear it a little? That's yirah. That's what we're supposed to have towards our father and mother. So a couple things I want to point out. We're supposed to honor them and we're supposed to respect them. What are we not commanded to do? That surprises you a little bit. What? Love them. We're not commanded to love them. Why? Yes. Maybe. Could be because we already do. Yeah. Why else might it be? Because you can't command love. You can't command love. You either love or you don't love. And the rabbis can give us some ways to behave that they hope can build love, but you can't command someone how to love. You can just command how to behave. I should also say that the rabbis taught that if a parent was abusive of their child, then they lost their rights to be honored and respected. But that's an abnormal situation, and we're going to stay with the normative. So it says to honor your father and mother and to fear your mother and father. Anyone want to guess why the order is different? Why is the order different? Anyone want to guess? Who are you more likely to fear? I knew you would say that. In a lot of our families, it's the mother. I know. I see all these kids pointing to their mom. So traditionally, you probably would have feared your father more. You probably would have seen him less, and you would have feared him more. So they wanted to make sure that you remembered to fear your mom, too. And you honored your mother because, I mean, face it, Mother's Day cards come more easily than Father's Day cards. It may be because school's in session. But, you know, the rabbis were scared. They thought we'd honor our mothers naturally, but they wanted to make sure we didn't forget our dads. So what does it mean to honor your father and mother? So the rabbi said that the bottom line, the thing you absolutely must do, is you must give them a dignified burial. That's the bottom line. You have to give them a dignified burial. And that's part of the reason that a Jewish funeral is so simple. No flowers, no music, no fancy coffin, so every single kid can afford that for their parents. Now, I have to tell you, funerals in Boulder are very expensive, so not that's actually true anymore. But that was the point, that no matter what they did in their lives, they should be dignified when they become completely vulnerable and have no control. But that's the bottom line. What else should we do? Now, here's your part. Tell me, what does it look like to honor your father and mother? Please. Yes, Kate. Do what he or she says. Beautiful. What else? How else do we honor them? Yeah, please. JJ said doing what they want you to do without them having to ask you. Yeah, nice. You should go to school and you should clean up your room so they don't have to. Yeah? Please. Bar mitzvah dad.
You pass their wisdom on to the next generation.
You pass their wisdom onto the next generation. It's a beautiful honor, which is what your family is doing. What else? Yes, please.
I guess I've been thinking about this one a lot lately, and I think part of honoring them is figuring out how they want to be honored. There's a lot of, in modern sort of society, how do we give or receive love or honoring, what are the things that your family members or loved ones want to receive, and how do you do that for them?
So having those conversations with them to figure out how they wish to be honored so you can do that. Yes, please.
Being aware of the sacrifices and prices they paid for you.
Maya says, being aware of the sacrifices and prices they pay for you. Beautiful. Kate, you got another one.
This is going to sound really strange, but you have to argue. Because you have to, argue so you can agree on something so you will not get a problem. So it just means they, did it.
She says you have to argue because you have to work out the problems. It can't stay hidden. Yeah, and it doesn't mean always agreeing, does it? No, it doesn't mean always agreeing. You can disagree agreeably. Yeah. What else? Yeah, no.
Don't take advantage of them.
Don't take advantage of them. Yeah. Do you have any examples of that one? Yes, please.
Accepting them for who they are.
Karen says accepting them for who they are. Respecting them. Yes, please, Charlie. Being grateful and not greedy. These are so good. Are my kids listening? What else? Yes, please.
Forgiving them for what they couldn't do.
Ugh, that's such a good one. Forgiving them for what they couldn't do. That's a really good one. Yes, Chloe. Understand where they're coming from. See things from their point of view. It's beautiful. These are really great. Any others? So I just want to point out here that this is a really basic Jewish teaching. Hey, this was a really simple one-liner from the 10 questions. I mean, the 10 questions. 4 questions, the 10 statements. It's from the 10 commandments. Really simple. And look at the layers that we are able to put on it when we take the time to think about it and reflect on it. So I want to thank you all for your thoughts about honoring your parents. And I hope that in the year to come, we should all have many moments in which we feel honored as parents, in which we honor our parents. Can you hear that song?